good day, everyone. Just quickly, how many people do we have in the audience?
50.
It's about
50.
15 people.
50
okay,
people.
Well, good day. All right. To begin, my name is David Long. I'm the CEO of XTC Mobile, and I'm just going to talk about how we began, and we'll get into small talk and what we're working on today with the Eclipse SageTea Runtime project. So a long time ago, and I'm going back now to 2012, my first company was called SageTea Software, and way back then there were no AI was something that people were researching, but we didn't have, as I'm sure you all know, things like LLMs and AI the way we know it today. So I was very interested in natural language processing back then. And Smalltalk, as we all know, is just great for processing strings and all the benefits that we all know working with objects. So I started from there. And so what SageTea was at the very beginning was a very simple parser, basically. So a sentence starts with a capital letter, it ends with a period. There's a space between words in a sentence, and usually the longest word in a sentence is the meaning or the topic. So just using some simple heuristics in Smalltalk, I was able to actually read text, and then using Smalltalk, I could generate apps like workflows, and this was back in 2012. So that was sort of the beginning of Smalltalk, and at the very beginning we were using Syncom Smalltalk. So we moved away from that, and our next step was to do the same thing using Squeak, and we sold our first few products to the Canadian federal government. This was around 2015, and it went along okay. I think SageTea itself kind of struggled as a business. It was only profitable, I think, for maybe 2 years out of 10, but we had a lot of fun. And then you see behind me XTC Mobile. Along the way, we got very interested in making phones. And one of the things we liked about Squeak is that it had a VM that could run on a mobile phone. And we found that the phone market was much more interesting than the software tools market. So that's what I'm working on today. But I've been a Smalltalk developer since the very beginning. So we published, like when we started out with Smalltalk, it was a closed source proprietary technology, and it's also very expensive when you're maintaining all of your source code and taking on all the costs. So what we've done, and this should be interesting to any Smalltalk developer, we took a look at the different types of open source projects out there, and there's like 10 or 15 ways you can do this. And we really liked the Eclipse system. It was developed by IBM, and it's a really good commercial open source license. And if you look at members of Eclipse, these are all like elite companies worldwide that share code in this open source environment. So we had this big investment in Smalltalk. We were moving out of the tools business and into phones, and we wanted to give what we had to the open source community. So I'm just going to walk everybody through the project so that you can see what we've published, and then I'm going to talk about what we're doing with Pharo now. And Stéphane's been really helpful with getting this first step of publishing a version of this for Pharo. It's only just getting off the ground. So I'm just going to show you what we have here. Let me share my screen. This is really cool stuff. Okay. All right, so this is the project here. If you want to take it down, this is where we wrote the initial proposal. Dave Thomas, who was the founder of OTI and the School of Computer Science at Carleton, he gave me a lot of advice on taking this step of taking all of our closed source Smalltalk code and publishing it. So the initial proposal I worked on with him, and these are the goals of the project. So it's a Smalltalk code base. The code that we published is Squeak based. Everything that we built in Smalltalk at SageTea is now here and available to anybody in the Smalltalk community. SageTea itself, it's a 7-table database that is very good for storing data. I'm not going to get into the details of that here, but if you want to use it, it's published. All of the code that I talked about that will generate screens, the ones that we did, they were done using Seaside. All of the code is there as well. And I'm going through the process of publishing all the documentation. So if you want to make apps using text to software, all the code is here. And this is how this code is going to be surviving, I would say, over the long term. Like SageTea, we raised millions, and we've sold, I'd say, a little over $1 million worth of this code. It definitely works, but it's not going to be able to, the code base is not going to be able to maintain unless the open source community and the Smalltalk developers pick it up and run with it. So that's why we're publishing this code now. I'm still around. There's still a few of us left. And this is really good stuff. One of the things with Smalltalk, for those of us who know it, it's an awesome language, but it's not a very well-known language in the marketplace today. And one of the reasons, I think, is that it's not as fast as you want for making apps the way you can in other languages. That's what SageTea actually helps you do. You can whatever your idea is, you can make it in SageTea and you can publish it quickly, and it's all based on Smalltalk. We are going cross-language, so like in this project, it works with other languages as well. And the idea is that in this environment, there'll be cross-population between all these other languages in Smalltalk, and by building up this basically, SageTea could work in any language, basically. It provides a way that Smalltalk can then provide its benefits and you get more visibility with languages that have a much larger market share. So there's a lot of business reasons why you would want to take a look at this. So anyway, here's the initial publication, and it takes a while to be approved by Eclipse. So even just being here, that was quite the achievement. And it's growing. So the Git part here. Now this is a big thing. To be part of Eclipse, you have to be compliant with GitLab or GitHub. So we had to leap away from what was it called, Monticello, because although it's good for Smalltalk, it's not good for anybody else. And so we had to hack Monticello to even make it work with GitLab, and so that's in here. And if you're not using GitLab or GitHub, you're not basically coding, right? Because that's how everybody does it. So we had to get our code working in Git first of all, and then I don't know exactly where I reached out to Stéphane, but I've got to say I'm new to Pharo, but the user interface, and I'd say I'm complimenting Stéphane here, but he's got a very forward-looking view on where Smalltalk can go. And he gave me a lot of help in doing the first version of SageTea in Pharo. And speaking very broadly, what we're going to do is enable the check-in, check-out capabilities of all the Smalltalk code that we have in Pharo. Okay, so we're not done yet, but if you're a Pharo developer, you can go here, and the first version of the Pharo code is here. So this is the first Pharo version of SageTea. And there's still work to be done here, but I would say in the next month or two, if you're a Pharo developer, you'll be able to go here, check out the SageTea code, and develop apps in Pharo for SageTea. Okay, so that's basically the project. I'm going to show you just quickly some other things that I'm working on. If we go to the SageTea.ai website, and I've done most of this just using ChatGPT. This is what I would call the next generation of SageTea. So this is basically using, if you can believe it, email to understand natural language queries, and it can actually, you can get very good responses if you're willing to wait, basically. Like if you're using a chat, like ChatGPT or Claude or anything like that, if you have to wait more than, say, a second or two, you'd say that this thing doesn't work. But if I send you an email, if you get a reply back in half an hour, that's probably not bad. And so the work I've been doing lately is just running LLMs locally that can send and receive emails, and it can be customized. So you can train your local LLM to be a sales engineer in your company. It can read user manuals. It can read technical documentation of anything that your business does. You can train it. And it's actually like a worker that you can have in your business that will respond to email the same way a human would. So this code here, this is not written in Smalltalk. This is React and there's a bunch of other things. But I'm publishing this code as well. The code that I'm showing you in the SageTea runtime here, this stuff will be compatible. So this is like the SageTea runtime project is basically like our open source developer kit now for everything else. I'm working in Smalltalk, but I'm also working in other languages, publishing the code here, and I'm hoping that we can find good business reasons why other developers would want to engage in this project as well. They don't necessarily have to do what we do. Like, I make phones, but there could be companies out there that could see value in business objects made in Smalltalk, working with LLMs. I think I'm going to wrap up here. This is just sort of an initial view of what the project is, and maybe we can do some questions now.